How's it going, people? Welcome back to Lee's channel. We're back again Mondays as usual. You know, it's been a mad week. It's probably been the maddest week we've had this whole season. And that's really not much to do with the football on show, even though we had one terrible performance and result amidst the last week. European Super League came, it went, Kroenke protests happened, weekend of football's gone by, and now our cup final is this Thursday against our old boss. It's like, it's a mad end to the season, Lee. Like, what do you make of the last week?
Bro, it's probably been the maddest week I've seen in my lifetime watching football. Like, I was alive when the Premier League started, albeit I was only a kid. I was only like 10, 11. Yeah. So I don't really remember it. I do remember it, but I don't, if that makes sense. But yeah, this week with social media now being a thing, the internet being a thing, like there's just like, you can get information rapidly these days. So it's been mad. Like as soon as they dropped, because we played, was it Fulham? It was Fulham, wasn't it? We played Fulham and then they dropped it that night. Yeah. And then on the Monday, everyone was going nuts. Yeah. And all week it's just been mad. And then obviously the protest, bruv, you was there. It was like an away trip, bruv. Like real talk. It was like an away trip at Stamford Bridge or something. Like just thousands of people there, man. All singing the same hymn sheet. And yeah, the scenes were lit, bruv. It was absolutely amazing. And the game, well, listen, the fans were man of the match.
Yeah, listen, I was about to say what game, because even that night, you know, it wasn't a. Listen, we've come to expect this from Arsenal now. You know, like people ask us to be consistent. I think we have been consistently poor. Like that's what it's been. You know, you ask for consistency. If that's what we've seen all season, that game literally came and went. I didn't have much care in the Premier League even prior to that game and prior to the European Super League news, because there's nothing left in it for us. So Villarreal Europa League was always the game I was looking at. But last Monday we did a show fresh off the European Super League news. I remember saying that, you know, I think it's here. Like they've launched it. They look like they're going to be wrong and strong with it. But literally within 48 hours, it collapsed. Like, what did you make of that? Because you, like, to be honest, you wasn't as like me in a sense where you thought it was done and dusted. I remember you saying, well, there could still be something, but essentially around the corner, there's always going to be something like this happening. But how did it just come and go like that? Do you think the balls just dropped off a few of the owners, or do you think Roman and Mansour were never really 100% involved? And as soon as the backlash came, because their relationship with the fans is very different to the other four. Let's be honest. Roman and Mansour, I love that they're clubs. The other four in that big six, none of us really care or know the owners. What do you think? What do you think the reason was, and like, what did you make of it?
I think like football's tribal in this country. I don't think like many people get it. Like you've grown up here, man. Like. And you've seen it. You go to games, Turkish. It is a tribal atmosphere at football matches week in, week out. It's us against them, innit? All the time. Doesn't matter who we're playing. Yeah, the songs are being screamed. Like everyone's jumping up and down. It's like, we're coming to take over your stadium on an away trip, innit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think the owners underestimated that, if I'm honest. Yeah, because Levy. Listen, Tottenham fans think that like Levy's like great in the transfer window and this and that. Like. Well, he's done a couple of good deals. This is the same guy paying Gareth Bale stupid money, by the way. It's the same guy that done all the Bale money on the likes of Soldado and them ones. You know what I mean? Like,
let's not really even the Celso 50 mil. Like, let's be honest. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. Like Joe Lewis, who's their owner, bro, he lives on a £113 million super yacht in the Caribbean. Never goes to games. Yeah. Nobody ever cried. I don't see any Tottenham fans until that happened the other day. I've never seen a Tottenham fan moan about their owner or Levy. Like the odd one here and there on Twitter, but it's not it's not a big thing, yeah? Which is probably why their turnout was about 50 people. You know what I mean? And Man United, like we know fans that are Man U. We see them on Twitter as well. We've been on channels, Rant, Saeed, all them ones as well. And we know that they've been on Glazers for years, man. And it's took this for them to actually unite as a fan base. And the same with us. Like we've had the whole Wenger in, Wenger out. Yeah, and like I think I probably underestimated how many people would go. I said about 1,000. Yeah, but I based that off of the Wenger out or the time for change and stuff like that, where it was about 500 people. Whereas I should have thought a bit better, really. I was probably naive because I don't think there's anyone who wants this owner here. Yeah, and then Chelsea, sorry, Liverpool. Liverpool's a weird one, right? Because nobody was moaning about their owners when they won the Champions League or the league.
Yeah,
but they've had a poor season. All of a sudden, they didn't go out and spend that much money last summer, and they're not even in the top 4 at the minute. So then this has happened, and then bang, all of a sudden they're now going on their owners. It was like, well, your owners have backed Klopp with Van Dijk after the Coutinho money, Alisson with the Coutinho money. You know, he's been backed with that money. We sell a player and it just goes where? Like, so I was kind of shocked with the Liverpool one, if I'm honest, but having seen some of the bits that have been put over social media, I can kind of get it as well.
They didn't build on it. That's it. Yeah,
that's the problem. They just thought, oh well, Klopp's a genius. We've got a super squad. We're cool. Yeah. We walk the title. We'll do it again. Don't happen. As soon as Van Dijk gets injured, their season collapsed. And you know, then they go and buy 2 centre backs and don't even play them. They put Fabinho at centre back. Like, what's that all about? So I kind of get it. But at the same time, you mentioned about Sheikh Mansour and Roman. Yeah, like Chelsea fans protested against the Super League and ultimately they came out. So Chelsea fans are going to take that as a win. I don't necessarily think, and it's not a dig at Chelsea fans because they went and done their thing, man. But I don't necessarily think it was that was the reason why they came out. I don't think they wanted in, maybe. I don't think Roman's the Messiah. Like, surely he knew about that. Like, they're all going in on Bruce Buck because it's fashionable to bash the American owner or the American guy at the club. And Bruce Buck's not the owner. Yeah, there's no way Abramovich didn't know about that and didn't authorize that. You know, 167-page document that's full of legally binding stuff. There's no way he ain't had a say in that. Sheikh Mansour, the same. But both of them have done so much for their football clubs by investing massive amounts before FFP officially kicked in properly. And if you look at where you've been to City, but all the way around this, I don't particularly like their stadium, but all the way around it, what they've done with the fan park and all that, it's mad, isn't it? Like all the little food huts and that, it looks sick. Then they've done the training ground. Abramovich has done wonders for their youth setup at Chelsea. Yeah, him and he got Jody Morris in there. Yeah, and for the last 6 years or so, they have just flown with their youngsters, man. Like, and that's how they balance the books now. Yeah, so I can get why their fans ain't on them too. As for us, I don't know, man. Like it was nice to see so many people turn out. Yeah, because I didn't think it'd be that many. And then Man United on Saturday, there was thousands there as well. And apparently that weren't even the main protest. That's next week.
Oh yeah.
So apparently it's I think it's Liverpool they're playing at Old Trafford. Apparently it's one month. Yeah, I think that's when they're doing their main protest. That was just the warm up.
Yeah, so, Sunday, 2nd of May, 4:30. Yeah, that's next Sunday. Well, that's this Sunday coming. Yeah. Yeah,
that was just the pre warm up, like the little warm up for the main event, really. So if you look at, and the one thing I'll say, right, I've said this before to you. I've said it on here all week and last week, albeit I did push it, and I was like, yo, I kept bigging you up. I was like, man's been on his case for time, you know. Like, it's nice to see so many people saying they're going. Let's see if they turn up. But I've said this before. I don't necessarily think that fans can force an owner out. Yeah, because we've seen it with Blackpool, with Carl Oyston. They were throwing tennis balls on the pitch. They were boycotting games and just turning up outside the ground and protesting. The only way he went was when he got done by the High Court for stripping their assets. Yeah, and then he sold it. Yeah, Newcastle with Mike Ashley, he gets called to see you next Tuesday every game. And he's just sitting there sipping his beer, not a care in the world. Like, so it's very hard, especially when you're talking billions of pounds. Like,
it comes down to the person's character. Like Mike Ashley, he comes across like someone who likes that, you know, abuse and who thrives.
He's a Tottenham fan as well. He's not even a Newcastle fan. That's even right, But you know what I was going to say is, even though I don't think that protest will necessarily get them out, what that did do is wake them up to the fact that fucking hell, this lot are mad, and we are a massive football club here, and the fans are mad passionate about it. Because when I see the scenes, man, I was watching all the videos, and like we had the game. Obviously, I went on the pre-match show, then I went on afterwards and did the phone-in show and stuff, and I was just like, and the fan cams, I was asking everyone, they were like, "Right, I can't believe how many people." That shows how big we are. Yeah. That shows how big United are, and Man United's ones, like, you know, if you look at London as a city, it's probably got more Arsenal fans in than Chelsea and Tottenham combined. There's loads of Arsenal fans in London, whereas Manchester, most fans in Manchester are City fans.
Yeah.
And like everyone who lives in Manchester pretty much supports City. Yes, you've got Man U fans, but it's not as many as like you'd think. And when I see how many Man U fans turned up, I was like, wow, that's mad, because they must have travelled, man. like from Surrey and them ways. You know what I mean?
Because we've gone down the same route basically in just a different manner. It just, you know, Ferguson managed to hold on to the Magic for a lot longer than Wenger did. That, I think that's all it was in reality. And yes, they make more money than us, which also helps. But essentially, our owners are pretty much the same. They don't really have no care to invest. They use us as an asset to take out loans and use investments into other areas. And look at where we are now. Yes, Man United are second, but United have been second before and then dropped out of the top four. They're not the United we grew up knowing. You know, they're certainly not the United of the Ferguson era. So I think that just showed with Man City. Like, I remember I messaged after the protest on Friday, I cancelled Big Six and I put out a tweet saying, obviously, I'm on the move. So it's better for me not to force it and we'll just come back on Monday. And I said, good luck to Saeed. And then I had to go into the WhatsApp group and I messaged Steve and I said, Steve, I would say good luck to you, but I don't really know what you guys want if you're going to protest. And then Steve just messaged me back saying, oh, don't worry. We just had a lovers tiff for a couple of days. And then they realized their mistake. And now it's all cup finals and Brazilian youngsters because they signed the young Brazilians. So I was just like, all right, then. Well, Chelsea made their voice heard. I agree with you. I don't think that pulled Chelsea out. I think they was already going to pull out. Obviously, that just doesn't happen out of nowhere. But credit to the Chelsea. Well, they stopped the bus and delayed the game. Arsenal fans and United fans, we've been treated in a different manner to any fan base, you know. Even Tottenham fans are not used to winning. So it's not like they've been taken from a pedestal and dragged down. Arsenal and United have, you know, Arsenal.
That's what made me laugh when I see these Tottenham fans outside White Hart Lane saying we want our Tottenham back. I was like, what Tottenham do you want, bruv? Like what Tottenham do you want? Like, he
wants the Gary Mabbott era back.
Gary Mabbott, you know. Yeah, but that's the thing, like, you got 18-year-old and 19, 20-year-old lads outside Tottenham saying we want our Tottenham back, bruv. What Tottenham?
Yeah.
Honestly, what Tottenham are they talking about, man? Like, I don't get it. Like, it's crazy. The only difference between Man United and us is their owners have stripped 2 billion quid out of their football club, which basically pays for Arsenal. Like, when you think about it, the money they've took out pays for our football club. That is mad amounts of money, man. Yeah. And like, we've taken, well, apparently Kroenkes took out 6 million. Do you remember them 2-3 million? The advisory fees. Yeah. So on that basis, the parallels between us and United is miles away. Yeah, but they're both the same in terms of philosophy. They both don't give a shit. They both don't put their own money in. Which, listen, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. You could argue that either way. Yeah, they kept talking about it in the fans forum about the self-sufficient thing being the model going forward, which Chelsea now are as well, to be fair. But they invested heavily before they become self-sufficient. Yeah, so they already had that kickstart. Yeah, whereas we never had that. Yeah, Man City did the same. But I just look at it and I think, like, where do Tottenham think they are? Where do they want to be? Because, like, they've got a lovely, shiny new stadium. They've just sacked a manager who got them to a final. Like, what do they want? Because they're never going to win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about it. Obviously, for 2 days, the big six were unified and the fans were on the same page. But like I kept on saying those first 2 days, Arsenal's battle is a lot deeper than any other clubs. You know, United is similar. The thing about the Glazers came in, I think, around 2004-05. Ferguson left, 2014, I believe, 2013-14. So they still had 8, 9, 10 years of success, which brought more money in. I feel like if Kroenke had 8, 9, 10 years of success off the back of maybe Wenger, he would have taken more money out too. It's just that because we didn't, even when he took the 3 million out, we was like, hey, what the hell are you doing? When in reality, the 3 million ain't changing much. But because we're not used to that, we was like, what are you doing? But then you see what Glazers have taken out, and literally, I can't say one's worse than the other. Both have fucked the giants that I grew up watching. So after the protest, it seems to be a little fallout now. Obviously, the title of the video is called Takeover. And I remember Friday night, I got in and I see the tweet, on the way home, I see the tweet from Daniel X saying, I was an Arsenal fan growing up. And I just thought to myself, this is very convenient timing, you know. Something's going on that, you know, is aired around the world, and you know it's trending on Twitter and it's just trending everywhere, and you've decided to say you're an Arsenal fan. Did I like it? I liked it because it was cheeky, but at the same time, Did it excite me? No, because I feel like maybe he was being, you know, crude or smart, sorry, with the way he's, you know, approaching it. A lot of retweets, a lot of shares, more mentions and whatnot. Then this morning comes and you hear about Henri, Vieira and Bergkamp, and it looks a bit more serious than I first thought. Yeah, what's your first thoughts on it, really? What did you think? What do you think?
I quote tweeted the tweet and put "wow" or something like that, or really, like, but bruv, I'm so skeptical of this geezer, yeah, and not just him, and there's other people that probably put their thoughts out there and say like, oh, I want to buy the club. Dangote's been doing it for 5 years, bruv. Well, where are you? Yeah, and he's like a lot more than this lad, yeah, but this lad is an Arsenal fan. Somebody went through all of his tweets and found loads of tweets about Arsenal 3 years ago and stuff. So he is an Arsenal fan, yeah. But like, I see the story and I was like, okay, cool. Then I see the story today about Henri, Bergkamp, Vieira, who have got a combined wealth of 100 million, apparently.
Yeah.
I was like, between them four, this don't add up.
Yeah.
Like, because like, you know, I see that he has 10% stake in Spotify. Others are saying he's got 18%. Listen, it's by the by. The only way he can get money out of that company is either refinance it with a bank and say, look, I've got Spotify projections of this, and he'll get a massive bank loan. But you need 2 billion quid to buy this football club. Is any bank going to loan him 2 billion quid? I don't know. Especially when his assets are worth, what, 3.5 billion. That's a big risk for a bank, even though he's a billionaire and it could go up. It's still, for me, it's still a big risk. But I just look at it and I think, like, Spotify put their prices up today. Like, they put them up they put them up £2 a month from next month. Yeah, so I was like, this is just, for me, it's just PR, bruv. You know what I'm like, man? I'm just like PR. No, it's PR. Yeah, Henri, Vieira, yeah, and Bergkamp. I've seen people saying, yeah, but they haven't come out and rebuffed it and said, no. Well, of course they're not, because they're already heroes, bruv. They now look even bigger heroes because they're trying to save the football club. Yeah, so they're not going to come out and squash it. Yeah, if it's not true.
100%. If it wasn't true, if it wasn't true, I'd expect them to come out and say, well, I don't know what this guy's saying, because they've got a reputation. But I feel like they're definitely involved. I just feel like X probably looked at it like, you know what? Obviously, these are a couple of the names or a few of the names I grew up on watching Arsenal. Yeah, let me make a contact and. Eva, listen, again, you know me, Lee. I try and put myself in every perspective. And one of the perspectives is he's bringing in the club legends because he knows what they're about. He grew up on them and he actually wants to take Arsenal in the right direction and is enlisting the support of football people because he's not a football person. Or he's bringing them on to trick us. Essentially how Kroenke done with Wenger. Because none of us trusted Kroenke, we trusted Wenger. But his name got dragged through the mud all the way to the point where we had enough of him. So I'd hope that Henri, Vieira, Bergkamp done enough due diligence to know that if they attach their name to something like this, we're going to support them. We have to support them because, like, what better names to attach? But they run the risk of, obviously, their reputation being on the line. That's why I don't know which perspective. Which perspective do you think? Do you think Ek might be using their reputation, or do you think he actually cares in this takeover?
I'm not even convinced he's interested in buying it, bruv. I can't lie. Yeah, I'm not even convinced. Like, I'd love it to be true. Yeah, don't get it twisted, bruv. We grew up on them three legends, bruv. Like, they mate, madness. Two of them have got statues for a reason, mate. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like, and the reason I'm skeptical is because of this Dangote guy. Like, and the thing is, I googled earlier how many billionaires there are on the planet, and it's like 2,700 billionaires. Bro, they probably all know each other, and if they don't, they know someone that knows him. Like, so.
Well, what about?
I love the idea of it. I think, yeah, cool. But you know, you got that idiot on Sky Sports, Cava. Yeah, Jesus Christ, the crap he comes out with, mate. How people believe him is a miracle. Yeah, he's put another tweet out tonight saying that Stan Kroenke, KSE, they're not looking to sell it. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But he spent all day telling us that this guy's going to buy it. It's like, they're covering all bases, man. Like, they're covering every base. And for me, I look at it and I'm thinking, this guy could genuinely be interested. Yeah. And they could genuinely say, no, we're not selling it. But then he could not be interested, and he's just trying to boost Spotify a little bit more. And by the legend's name being attached to it, I don't think he attached it. I haven't seen anything where he said that the legends would be involved. I think it was the guy, Matt Law, I think it was, from the Daily Telegraph, put that out first. Yeah. Right. That Matt Law don't really know much about Arsenal. He's more of a Chelsea person. Yeah. I think he broke the Lampard news, I was told earlier. Yeah. Before anyone. So I don't know. And then like when you see like Sky saying sources close to this person or family members, like they never, it's always just the same words, like sources tell me, well, what sources, bruv? Like, but I'd love it to be true. Listen, don't get it twisted. I would, yeah. But when I look at it, him on his own, let's take the 3 Arsenal players out, yeah, because their wealth is not going to be enough to cover a year's worth of wages at this football club, yeah. So let's take him, yeah. Let's say he can finance it and he can come into the club, right? Where do we go from there then? Because as I see it, he's going to come in. He's got less money than this bloke that's owning it now. He's got at least half less of what the Cronkies have got. So what's going to change?
Do you think there's? I've read some things and about maybe someone else behind him, maybe that wants him to be the face of it. Because obviously with Usmanov, we've talked about it before. Usmanov, the way he was treated, it was essentially racism. You know, there was a problem with where he was from. So some owners from certain backgrounds might be looking at it like, or some billionaires might be looking at it like, they wouldn't like me coming in to try to take this club. But, you know, someone like Ek, they might. An Arsenal fan, like you said, he's got history. There's tweets there. They enlist 3 more Invincibles, you know, a dream team in a sense. Do you think there's potential that there is someone behind it? If it is true, I'd say there has to be someone behind it. Because
I agree. If you look at Liverpool, I think the Liverpool owner's worth half of what this guy's worth. But their consortium consists of about 30 people and investors, Yeah. So if he is going to do this and it is true, let's say, there's no way he can do it on his own. Yeah. Because yes, he's worth $4.9 billion, which equates to what, mate, let's say, I don't know, 4 billion quid that is, yeah. He's going to put half of that into buying Arsenal Football Club. Like, I don't see how that's going to I don't get it.
Yeah, even if obviously he can take out a loan or do all of that stuff, but even if he was to do something like that, it's still a risk in the position he's in. But
and that's the thing. No, I was going to say that's the thing. Like, it is a risk when you've put half of your money straight into one club. Yeah. And then you've got to come in and try and restructure stuff in the club. You've got to try and get the right people in. You've got to make sure the wage bill and everything's correct. You've got to make sure the day-to-day running of the club, the training ground, etc. It's not cheap, man. It's really not cheap to buy this football club. I see something earlier that said that Stan Kroenke's total investment in terms of buying the shares to buy this club, total shares from day one to now, was about £1 billion. So if we sold it for 2, it's doubled his money.
And it's not doubling a pound, it's doubling $1 billion, mate. It's not,
we're then moving in different stratospheres to us, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? All of us in the chat can put all our money together, it ain't even coming close.
No, zero.
I don't know, man. Like, this Dangote guy, that's a great point Roman makes. Maybe because he said for 5 years straight, and I don't really believe him either. That he wants to buy it and he's going to buy it in 2021. Well, we're nearly 5 months into 2021 and he's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I remember.
So if he comes in, then he could potentially cause a little bit of a bidding war. Then you might get another one come in and then it's 3 people. Yeah. But genuinely, I don't see any of this happening, mate. Yeah, I've got my hopes up over that Dangote guy before and been let down. So until official happens in terms of an actual, he's put his money where his mouth is, I'm going to be skeptical. But listen, back in my head, I hope it happens.
Yeah.
But I don't see it, man. I really don't see it.
Rumors came out this morning. So essentially in the next 48 hours, in the next 36 hours, we should be seeing a picture of them together or a joint statement or just something that we could that's built off of these rumors, because essentially it is all rumors right now. So if we see something like that and wake up to it, then it is getting more and more interesting. Is there more hope? We don't really know, because at the end of the day, Kroenke, he might be the Mike Ashley type of businessman that wants to dig his heels in. He thrives off of the abuse and the negative vibes, and he just keeps it moving. But Roman does make a good point, because a bidding war would be a great thing, because then potentially Kroenke gets even more than he expected. Chris, Mashiri is worth 2 billion, but Everton spend a lot. But Usmanov's behind Mashiri, and maybe Usmanov learned from his story at Arsenal and thought to himself, you know what? Let me be silent in this one. Let me just not say anything. Let me not be the face of it. Mashiri's gone in there, and Usmanov's behind him. You know,
don't they both own red and white holdings together?
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah. Or Mashiri, yeah. Either they own it together, or Mashiri's works. I don't know. Yeah. It's something, but basically,
I'm sure red and white holdings is theirs, but like they're connected in it. They both own a stake or something, because like Usmanov was the one, bruv. That like we should have had him years ago. Let's be real here, yeah. Like, can you imagine how much different it would have been? Like, it would have been up to the cities and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When I woke up to that him selling his 30%, that was a sad day, because that was the. You know, I've been banging on about Kroenke for years. I always used to lean back on, listen, Usmanov, he's there. He's waiting. He's ready. He did give it one last go. I'll give him that. It's not like he went out on a whimper. He gave it one
like 2 million or 2 billion or something, didn't he?
Yeah, and at that time, it was, at that time, without Kroenke having spent, I think, 600 million on Usmanov shares, Kroenke's investment would have been what? You just said close to $1 billion. So it would have been about
$1 billion, 400 million.
400 million before the Usmanov shares. So he got offered something that was quadrupling his money, the value, everything. But he said no. And it was all because of the European Super League, really. Because if it wasn't, he would have improved the side. But he didn't care about the side because he knew that this was coming. So we just got left with nothing.
And this is why I'm skeptical. Like, it's all great that there's talk coming out, but it's like thank you. There's it just seems a little bit convenient that after one protest, somebody put it in the chat a minute ago, after one protest, all of a sudden this has all come out. Like I said, there's not many billionaires on the planet. They're probably all connected somehow. It wouldn't surprise me if fucking Josh Kroenke knows Daniel Ek and said, yo, put a tweet out saying you're interested. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Yeah, because then that'd drive it up. Everyone gets excited. That takes the pressure off the Kroenkes. Yeah, then all of a sudden we got the game on Thursday. We get to a final again. Balogun's new deal's been dropped today. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll get to.
Yeah, I know. I like how they dropped the Balogun news right in there. You know, right? Like, perfect timing again. Like just to quell any fire. But I don't think that sort of news quells this fire. That's the thing. But Thursday, Lee, big one on Thursday. You reminded me that this European Super League took over and the ownership issues took over for so much of the last 7, 8, 9 days. We've got a massive game around the corner against Unai Emery and a Villarreal side that haven't been involved in the European Super League and haven't been, you know, their eyes off the ball. In essence, Arsenal have taken their eyes off the ball. Look at that Everton performance. What do you expect this Thursday? What do you think's going to happen? Wait, before you go in, Lee. Yeah, before you go in, let me just get this one in because it's on the European Super League and I don't want to go backwards. So the signature, he says this is a win-win. If he buys it, great. Let's see what happens. If KSE stays, these rumors should make them spend. Henry in the Hall of Fame, which we will definitely have to touch on. And Sovereign, big up Sovereign. I met Sovereign on Friday at the protest. Big up Lee in Turkish. Nice meet. Oh, there you go. Nice meeting you, Turkish. Very humble guy. Ek did decide buy it can help me further his business goals. Arsenal is a global brand. Well, yeah.
Guys, man. Because everyone in the chat, smash the likes and follow Turkish's channel as well. Links in the title, man. 700 nearly watching. So get on that right now. Blue link in the title, straight to Turkish's channel.
Come on. So what are you saying about Thursday then? You laughed when I asked the question.
Bruv, I've kind of, I don't want to say like I'm like can see into the future or anything, yeah, but I have kind of predicted most of this season, like for us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've said that we'd struggle. I said that the FA Cup didn't fool me. It didn't. I knew what was coming this season. I said that we needed more than Thomas Partey and Houssem Aouar together. We needed more if with this manager to get top 4. And that's kind of happened so far. Thursday, bruv, I didn't see the game where they played Barcelona last night, but they went down to 10 men and apparently played Barca off the park for most of the game. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. A couple of people put it in my chat earlier, so I haven't seen it. But if that is true, we're in trouble. Like, real talk, mate. This guy is the expert in this competition. He got us to a final in the first season of managing us, yeah? He's won it 3 times straight, yeah, with Sevilla. And in his first season looking at Villarreal, who would probably be down with Burnley and Brighton in this league. Yeah, he has got that dead team into a semi-final against the biggest club left in the competition. That's had all the protests, like all the dramas, like all of this kicking off. Like, are we really focused? Are the players focused? Like, you know, Aubameyang as well. He was back at Colney today, but I don't know whether he's going to be ready to play. When you've had malaria, bro, that takes it out of you for weeks.
It can do, yeah. I remember Kolo Toure was affected even after he came back. Am I right in saying Unai Emery hasn't ever lost the Europa League knockout round? I don't think he's ever lost. I think I saw that recently.
I see that the other day. Never lost a European knockout round game.
That is mad, and that's a two-legged tie. Like that's mad.
Bro, he kept a clean sheet away to Salzburg, Dynamo Zagreb, and Dynamo Kiev. That is not three fucking easy teams to keep clean sheets away. Yeah, Salzburg are decent.
Not when you're Villarreal as well, because Villarreal.
Zagreb slapped up Tottenham. Yeah, knocked them out, didn't they? Yeah, my man scored the hat trick. Yeah, it's mad, bro. I'm really worried, if I'm honest, but. Wouldn't it be iconic for Unai Emery if he came and knocked us out at our ground and got to a final by beating the man who he got sacked for? Yeah, like he must be licking his chops, bruv, at the state of us this season. Like, that's the story. He's probably knee sliding across his living room, going, "Yep, it's all gone hits up since I've left."
There must be a bit of that to it, because when you're not a fan of the club and in a company, like if I'm working for a company, that I'm not affiliated to, I don't love, and I get chased out of the back door or like hounded out of the back door, and 4 months, 5 months, a year later, that company's doing even worse now than it was then. There'll be a little part of me that's going to be like, all right, how do you guys now? That's just natural, I think, you know. So there must be some of that to Unai Emery, and this Thursday it must. Who do you think it means more to, Unai Emery or the Arsenal players? Because the Arsenal players, a lot of them did like Unai Emery, a lot of them didn't, but a few of them still in the squad did like him.
Oof, that's a tough question, you know. I think it. Do you know what? I think it'd probably mean more to Emery because of the way it ended. Yeah, like we got battered in the final. Yeah, I remember watching him like in that final. I was just looking at his face. He was disgusted with that team, man. He was just looking at him like, "You were rubbish." Like, and I got you all the way here first season. Like they fell apart in the last 7 games of the league. Yeah, we sacked him after 3 losses, and he's probably, like you said, he is probably sitting there thinking, "Yeah, look at the state of them now. Yes, we won the cup." Yeah, but he's probably thinking, I could really rub salt into the wounds and get my own back here. Whereas are them players? Because like I know the players took the piss out of him. Like some of them, they weren't listening to him in training. But do they really care, these players? Like a lot of them don't really look like they want to play for the manager, let alone play to beat Unai Emery, bro. You know, the way they were walking around the pitch the other night was just a joke. Right. And all season.
Yeah, because people like me personally, like when people say the players down tools for Emery, I don't agree with that, because if they down tools, you would have seen a bounce back from them with the following manager, and the Ljungberg didn't see it, Arteta didn't see it. You know, people can talk as much as they like about the first few months of Arteta, but that wasn't a bounce back. So really and truly, it's not about downing tools. It's the players are just either not good enough or they don't care enough. So I guess you're right. It's not even a good question. Emery probably has the most invested in this game emotionally.
If we don't beat them there, I don't think we're going through. Yeah, if we get a 1-1, then yeah, maybe. Let me say this: if we don't beat them comfortably, I don't see what's going through. Yeah, because if we beat them 1-0, well, that's still irrelevant because they beat us 1-0. It's extra time, right? If we draw 1-1, we've got the away goal, but the way we defend at home, I'm not looking forward to that because we know they'll score. If we lose 2-1, yes, we got the away goal, but again, he's tactically levels above this manager, bruv. Levels. Like I don't care what anyone tells me. I've looked at their fixtures. I don't know what formation they played last night. Yeah, but I guarantee it weren't 4-4-2. In this competition all season, the geezers played 4-4-2. When we got to the final, he played 4-4-2. When Sevilla won it 3 times, 4-4-2. Nobody plays 4-4-2 anymore. Yeah, he's got that formula nailed on for Europa League football. And every time he's won it or got to a final, played 4-4-2. Yeah, remember Aubameyang and Lacazette slacking Valencia up? 4-4-2. Yeah, like Maitland-Niles was bombing down that right wing constantly. He was sick that season, man. And I look at them and they've got decent players, but most of their players are fucking pensioners, man.
Yeah,
and he played Barcelona off the park last night.
Second half of Tottenham game. Second half of Tottenham game when we won 4-2, that was a 4-4-2 because I remember, was it Lacazette that came on and Lacazette came on and then they just split and we won that game because of that move. Yeah. And am I wrong in saying obviously Chuck Wasey is one of the Villarreal's better players? Isn't he their right winger? He's their right.
I think he's their left winger. I think he's left wing. I might be wrong. I think he's left wing.
I hope he's I hope he's left wing because if he's right wing, which I thought he was, then Xhaka against Chuck Wasey, it's got. Listen,
it don't matter what side he's playing because Emery will just go, yeah. You see that little muppet at left back? Yeah, I'll just put you over there like Everton did with Richarlison. Man plays left wing every week. He put him on Xhaka's side the other night.
See, this ain't the news I want to hear. Right wing. Fuck, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. On Saturday, I did a show for the Forever Arsenal podcast, and I got asked for a prediction, and that's very early without team news and everything. And I said 2-1 Villarreal, and without team news, I'm still going to say 2-1 Villarreal because I just feel like there's positions to be exposed there. Emery knows a lot of these players better than even Arteta knows them.
Yeah, that's true.
I just feel like Villarreal have had a decent season. Yes, they've fallen off in the latter part. They had a great opening, 4 or 5 months of the season. But because Emery's got that bit more invested in it, and because this is his competition, I think if we're gonna go through, it's gonna be a fight back in the second leg. I just feel like I'll make a more informed prediction coming up to Wednesday when there's more team news. But even right now, I think 2-1 Villarreal.
I don't think we'll beat him. I really don't. And the reason I don't think we'll beat him is that fella at left back, bruv. He ain't even a footballer. I don't care what anyone tells me. That guy is so shit, it is unbelievable, right? And Hector Bellerin, I'm not sure whether he'll play, but if you pick two players that sum up Arsenal Football Club right now, it's Hector Bellerin and Granit Xhaka.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was talking to Rance earlier, and I said, if you sum up one player at Man City, who would it be? And he said Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, no bullshit. He just wants to go out and win everything. Win every tackle, pass every ball immaculate. Yeah, there weren't no fucking video being dropped when he signed his new contract the other week. Yeah, Man City just tweeted it, bruv. No BS just with an X.
Yeah, signature. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. Didn't even have a fucking agent, bruv. Man just signed it without an agent. He ain't got an agent. Yeah, and it's like we're dropping videos for a 19-year-old that's not even played 90 minutes for us.
and then you got Edu there like this, like over him like this. You've done a mad thing. Like, please, bro. Like, firstly, that contract should have been wrapped up like 12 months ago, 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And number two,
he should have already been playing after season.
Yeah, number two, there's bigger fucking fish to fry right now than a 19-year-old's contract, mate, with your chest out. But we're 10th in the league, and you're telling us to be patient with Willian. Like, how patient do you want it? Because it's nearly
that's the thing. That's what I was going to come to next. Sorry to cut you off here. Yeah. I was going to say, does any fucker trust this guy to pick the right 11 on Thursday? Yeah, bruv, we see the other day Eddie and Nketiah up front. Like, on what planet is he up front? Like, I'm sorry, the guy is shit. No disrespect to him. I'm sure he's a lovely kid, but go and be a lovely kid at West Ham or Barnet or somewhere. Yeah. Like, this is Arsenal Football Club. I don't care. You want to cup your ear after scoring an equaliser against Fulham? You ain't serious, mate.
I said on Friday that it should be Martinelli starting or Balogun. Whoever you want to start on Thursday against Villarreal, if Obor and Laka are injured, start them.
Yeah.
Now, if Gordon starts Eddie against Villarreal, then I'm going to say, all right, well, that's what you fucking wanted to do, mate. So fair enough. But
up against Pau Torres. Like, decent centre half, man. Do you know what I'm saying? He's quality, that lad.
And Albiol, no? Isn't he?
Albiol's next to him. Albiol and Pau Torres, yeah. They're a good partnership. They're not the greatest, but none of our centre backs are a great pairing. Like, do you know what I mean? It changes every week, so it's no coincidence that they're not a good pairing because they change every week. Then we've got an issue with the goalkeeper. Like, what is wrong with him? Yeah, why ain't maybe Matt Ryan a start? I'll be more confident with him in goal. Yeah, and then right back, we don't know who to play there. You watch, he'll put Granit Xhaka back in midfield for this game, and he'll put Cedric at left back. Yeah, and he'll go with Bellerin at right back. I guarantee. Yeah, I guarantee it, because what he'll think is, oh my god, yeah, Chukwueze is up against Xhaka, So what I'll do is I'll put Cedric in there, and Xhaka can dictate the play in midfield. He can pass it around, yeah. And that is probably why we'll lose this game. I'm agreeing with you, man. I don't even think we'll score, mate, if I'm honest. But that is early. I haven't seen team news and all of that rubbish.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to say because there's so many
2-0 to them.
2-0. There's so many players that's on the cusp of it. Yeah, I need to know a bit more information. I need to know who's going to be our striker, our options. I need to know. I guess Odegaard's back. That's positive. Okay. Yeah, I need to know about Oba and Laka, really and truly. I need to know about Oba and Laka. Okay? That's the main ones for me.
Yeah, Laka, I'm not sure whether he's trained. I don't think he's going to make it, but Aubameyang definitely was at training. He put it on his socials, man. He was at Colney, so I'm not sure whether he's going to be fit to start.
That's the problem.
Yeah, they might both be fit for the second leg. I don't know. Which, listen, we might need him. Yeah, and if we're going to win this tournament, we're going to need at least one or two, maybe both of them, like I said, maybe on it, because we've been relying and we've been carried by a 19-year-old all season. You know, and he ain't looked great recently, Saka. Yeah, so you know, maybe he's getting a bit tired, a bit burnt out. So many games and minutes. I thought he should have been rested against Everton. Yeah, I wouldn't have played him. Yeah, I would have put Pepe in on the right, and I would have put Martinelli on the left. Yeah, or I would have put Smith Rowe out on the left, Martinelli up front, and Pepe right, with Odegaard floating in the middle. But I don't know, man. The way he game manages our games and squad manages, bruv, I'm not confident one bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if he shithouses his way to winning it and gets fucking lauded a hero. But I equally wouldn't be surprised if Unai Emery beat us in United. Yeah. Imagine if he fucking went Turkish, like with Villarreal.
Listen, the pessimist in me, and you know the pessimist is much bigger than the optimist in me. The pessimist in me says, if we get past Villarreal, United beat us in the final. So I just feel like every avenue I'm looking down, it's just a dark place, you know. But I just hope we do it, just so the money's in, and we'll finally see whether this owner or the new owners, if there's to be new owners, or if whoever's there decides it's time to start overhauling this side and fast, because doing it slow taints other players. A few years ago, Leno wasn't a problem. Coming to the end of this season, it seems like Leno might be a problem. When you don't do things quick enough, this is what happens.
Bro, he's a big problem, yeah. And the thing that pisses me off is if there's one decision that sums up Mikel Arteta or this football club's piss poor management since he's been here, Arteta, it's selling Martinez instead of Leno, yeah. Because people can sit and say, "Oh, it's easy to say that after the event." No, we could quite clearly see he was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. You know what? I hold my hands up because I never said Leno was better, but what I did say early on is we won't know till the end of the season if it was the right decision or not. And coming to the end of the season, it wasn't the right decision. So, like the proof's in the pudding. You know, I like to deal with facts, and that is the fact. Yeah, we got more problems than we thought 2 weeks ago, but we'll see. Lee, when are you back? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna chill tonight, man. I'm a bit achy after playing golf yesterday, man. I can barely walk. Literally like an 8-year-old man. I need a bigger frame. Bro, next time I'm getting a buggy instead of push. Bro, my hands, I showed you my hands, innit? Look. My fingers are white. Yeah, look how brown my hands are, bro. Like I'm fucking burnt to fuck. But my fingers are white, innit? Look. Yeah, because I'm pushing a trolley. Bro, I walked 9 miles yesterday. I feel fucked. I haven't walked 9 miles in the last 12 months.
You need to relax, my guy. You need to relax. I can't even lie.
I'm gonna put my feet up, man. I'm gonna pop the chair back in the living room, watch the second half of the Leicester game, man. But it's been a lit show, man. Make sure you slap the likes up, people. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to Turkish. You're back at 10, I'll take it. Yeah,
big six tonight, 10. Yeah.
Come on, big six. Villarreal played 4-4-2 against Barca. Apparently, there you go, and they played really well. Big up Chig as well. I see you in the chat, my guy. Big up everyone in the chat, man.
Big up Chig, man. But yeah, big six. I'll be back at 10 people. Obviously, we go live around 10:05. Hit the like button on this video, but make sure you're there at 10 p.m. Lee's back tomorrow. I'm assuming tomorrow anyway. At some point, we might wake up in the morning and we got that picture of Henri Vieira and Bergkamp and what's his name, Daniel Ek together, and we more stuff to talk about. Let's see what happens, because every day seems to bring new news at the moment. And even though it's not that exciting, it is probably, for me, the most exciting time since Usmanov made that bid for Kroenke. So let's see what happens over the next coming days before the cup final this Thursday against Villarreal. Smash the likes. I'll be back on my channel 10 p.m. The link for my channel is in the title. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Love and peace, people.